Hi, it's the Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. Let's talk about some new makeup releases. A will I buy it? What's in my shopping cart? There's so much new stuff out there, but not all of it is exciting to me personally. I've noticed I'm starting to make some changes in my purchasing habits, and maybe we'll talk about some of that. But I would love to know whether your purchasing habits are changing or not, or whether you're still interested by the same brands and the same types of ideas. All right, first thing on the list is a collaboration between Bobbi Brown and Alice in Wonderland. It is a bunch of their vitamin enriched face base. There's an eyeshadow palette. There are some lipsticks. There's a cleansing oil. There are a lot of different things here. The lipsticks are $47 each. The eyeshadow palette is $70 each. The vitamin enriched face base is $69. I think there's even a duo. I'm looking at this, and although the packaging is super cute, I, for some reason, have not been a big Bobbi Brown fan since the 90s. And I remember when Bobbi Brown came out with her line years and years ago, and I was just absolutely entranced. It was so good, and it was so of the moment. And I definitely feel like right now, the Bobbi Brown brand, as owned by Estee Lauder, is just kind of not that exciting. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see any of these things as something I absolutely have to have. There is some new drugstore makeup out there. There is something from Maybelline. This is their Cloudtopia blush. It's a cheek and lip mousse, and it's supposed to be light as a cloud. Was it Maybelline who did the bouncy blush years ago? And I'm kind of wondering, is this kind of like a reformulation, a reiteration of the Dream Matte Bouncy Blush? I don't know. Do you remember that? I can't get that out of my mind for whatever reason. And every time I'm touching a putty like blush, I instantly think of that. I think it was Maybelline. Am I right? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below. But this looks kind of interesting. There are some really pretty shades and kind of more interesting shades than I would expect at the drugstore. So I'm really rather excited about that. I don't know that I'm running out to pick it up. It does come in 10 shades. It's supposed to offer 14 hours of wear while staying true to color. You won't need to worry about touch-ups or transfer or things like that. It's supposed to not fade, smudge, or crease. And it's got this really interesting moussey, weightless texture. It looks interesting. I don't know that I have to have it, but it is certainly exciting. When I see releases like this at the drugstore, I'm like, wow, that is kind of cool. It does remind me of the Fui Pudding Pop blushes. It does remind me of a lot of other texturally interesting blush formulas that are out there. But they are already available and they're $10 each. This is also new, but this is from CoverGirl. There's a new tubing mascara out there. This is the Eye Enhancer Wrap Tubing Mascara, and it's going to get you a lash extension effect that is clump-free, flake-free, and smudge-proof for up to 30 hours. Now, I never wear my mascara that long. I'm lucky if I get 16 hours out of mascara. Part of me wanted to do an updated version of my tubing mascara showdown. I did that a couple years ago, and it would be interesting to get a whole bunch of different tubing mascaras out and take a look at them and compare them to each other. And I think it's interesting, especially for someone like me who prefers a tubing mascara. But for me, I also have to remind you that I have like the worst lashes. They're short, they're straight, they point downwards, they're kind of a little sparse, and there's some gaps in there. So if a tubing mascara works really well, I always get better results from a traditional mascara. But I really love the ease of removal, like warm water and a little bit of, pressure, and tubing mascara just slides right off. And for me, it's the ease of removal that keeps me coming back to a tubing mascara. So there's a good chance that this new one from CoverGirl will end up in my basket, but it's already available and it's $13. There's a new holiday set from Merit. This is their Winter 2025 limited edition set. It comes with several products. It comes with one of their new Solo Shadow Sheens in a limited edition shade, a shade slick sheen, I always say those wrong, one of their lip liners, a flush balm, a mini clean mascara. Is it Clean Lash? Yes, I think it's the Clean Lash Mascara, a mini of that, and one of their number 2 brushes, which I really like and I use today because I'm wearing one of the Solo Shadow Sheens on my eyes. I actually like the look of this. I don't know that I'm going to buy it. I am chock full of Merit stuff. They're very kind to send me things every now and again, and I do go out and buy Merit stuff all on my own. Like the Solo Shadow Sheens that I'm wearing today are definitely ones that I purchased myself. I'm not sure that I have to have this, but if you haven't tried some of these, I love their lip oil lip gloss kind of hybrid. I love their lip liner. I like their Flush Bombs a lot. I like their tubing mascara, but I really have been enjoying the Solo Shadow Sheens, and I feel like they're really beautiful, easy and effortless for like a busy holiday season. So if this looks interesting to you, it's available now. It's $98. I'm probably going to take a pass on this, but man, I do see why it's interesting. There are some holiday sets from Jones Road. Jones Road has been one of those that I tried a couple years ago and I liked. And then slowly but surely this year, I have dabbled more and more into Jones Road, and I really am starting to vibe with the brand. I really feel like, and it could be that I'm finally at that place where my skin is craving more hydration. I'm getting older. I'm 50 years old now. I do have fine lines and texture and some crepiness and things like that. And Jones Road just makes my skin look happier. So there's less powder involved, more kind of almost like an ethereal glow, and I like that. So there are some really cool sets. There is a trio of mini Miracle Balms. I have a ton of Miracle Balms, like little minis, and I like them, and I reach for them fairly regularly on my non-filming days. On the days that I want to look like I have a little color to the cheeks, that I have a little bit of radiance, but I don't want to look too made up, I'll reach for those. There's also kind of like a lip set here that has a lip liner, a mini lipstick, and a mini lip gloss. And then they have a trio of 3 scents. These are all extremely giftable, whether the gift is for yourself or for someone else. But they have these party sets, and there are exclusive sets that you can get on their Jones Road website. I think they look really pretty. They do have one that has a gel liner, a mini Miracle Balm, and an eyeshadow stick. Previously, the eyeshadow stick was only available in the Bobbi Brown 5.0 kit, but it looks like they're putting it in their holiday sets. They also have a set that's based on one of their best-selling shades, Pinky Bronze. It has the Pinky Bronze bronzer in there. It has one of their lip glosses in that, and their Just a Sec eyeshadows in Pinky Bronze. And I think that is also super cool. And there are a variety of prices from like $38 to $66, somewhere in between there. And I think that they're a really easy price to pick up if you're going to give an easy gift to somebody who's looking for fast but beautiful makeup. I think that these are interesting sets. This is something I keep telling myself, I'm going to try something from this brand, I'm going to try something from this brand, and I never do. And I'm not sure that this is going to be the time that I try something from this brand, and it's Suqqu. I've heard nothing but great things about Suqqu, especially their eyeshadow formulas. They have their new holiday collection for 2025. And the quads are really pretty, but they're not really speaking my love language. There's one that has kind of like an icy blue and some peach tones in there. There's another one that's kind of pinks and lavenders, and they're very pretty, but they remind me more of like pastels for spring. I'm just not feeling like the holiday vibes with this. And I don't need a red lipstick. I don't need that all the time, but this, for some reason, and maybe they're doing it because nobody else is doing stuff like this, and it's definitely going to stand out. But I do need to try some Suqqu, but I'm not sure that now is the time. If you're interested, these, I believe, are already available at Selfridges, and they're $70 per set. All right, there's a shade extension from Make Beauty. Recently, they sent me, let me see if I can find it. They sent me some makeup to try, and one of the things I had never tried before was their multichromatic metal reflect eyeshadow. I picked up the shade Glaze and love this. This is so pretty. Let me just show you what a swatch. I mean, look at that. Isn't that just delicious? It's just so good. So they have a shade extension of these beautiful multichromatic eyeshadows, and they are, I think there's 3 new shades. They're limited edition. They're for the holidays only. And they're available at Make Beauty. Part of me wants to pick up another one. These are really pretty. I'm not really sure. It looks like they're coming in duos. Yes, they're limited edition holiday duos on Make Beauty. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I don't know that I need 2 more. I might like be interested in grabbing 1, but definitely if you're interested, I really feel like these shadows are really, really beautiful. They last well on the lid. Another thing that I like is that the pan is refillable. It's magnetic. It just like pops right in, super easy. And if you wanted to take this and put it in a magnetic palette to take it with you, you could certainly do that as well. But I love the Make packaging. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know that I have to have it, but I might. I might. All right, more drugstore. There's a new precision eyeliner from L'Oreal. It's the Haute Precision Liquid Liner. It offers an ultra precise line of fade defying color that lasts up to 28 hours. So more than a day's worth of wear. Looks like they have brown, navy, burgundy, green. They have some really pretty shades. They're supposed to be fade proof, waterproof, transfer resistant, and last for 28 hours. I'm not sure, does it say here whether they are a felt tip or whether they are a brush tip? They kind of, the line that it makes kind of looks like a felt tip. It's a felt tip. It does say that. It's a 0.01 millimeter cushioned felt tip. Boy, that's really tiny. That is super tiny. That's kind of interesting. It's $14, already available at Ulta and probably other places where you can buy L'Oreal. But I don't know. I feel like there's a couple of things from the drugstore it might be interesting to go and check out. But this is where I come up to that point where I'm thinking about the sorts of things that I truly am interested in. It would be fun to try it, but I don't know that I would continue to use it. And I don't want to buy something that I'm only going to use once for a video and then never touch again. Sometimes I feel like it would be nice to have things on hand to be able to compare to others, but I haven't really gotten in the habit of comparing products and videos too much. So then I would just have a ton of stuff for almost no reason. So I'd either have to change the sort of videos I start making, or just remind myself that yes, it looks interesting. Yes, it sounds great, and maybe let somebody else review it. Okay, this totally surprised me. Almost a little gobsmacked when I saw this. And it's beauty news. It looks like MAC is coming to Sephora in the United States. So MAC has been available at Sephora in the UK and in Canada for a while. It's not as if MAC is not part of Sephora, just not part of Sephora in the US. Now, I know that MAC is available at Ulta. I have a MAC store that's about an hour away, so I have plenty of access to MAC. I always felt it was so strange to have a brand that was so big and famous like MAC and not have them at Sephora. I'm really curious as to what's driving this change. I think it's great. Now, I have not been a huge MAC fan for a while. 90s and early 2000s, I was definitely a MAC girly, but it's been a while since I've fallen in love with a couple of MAC things. And I have been trying a little bit more from MAC recently, like some lip products and a few other things. And I've been having like some really good responses to them where they work well for me, where I like the formulas. I feel like there's been kind of an update in some of their things, but I would love it if we got back to some of the classic MAC things that everybody loved and that were just kind of taken over. And I think we're going to see a lot more color at Sephora with MAC being there, you know, just with their wide range of lipsticks and eyeshadows. It should be just a kind of like, here's our display of what we offer at MAC, and it's anything your heart desires. I love the YSL Mini Clutch palettes. I feel like I have one of them. They're so good. I want to get another one, and I was looking at these. There are 2 new shades. There are some kind of turquoisey blue shades. Those Not for me. I would like to think that yes, I would wear. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. They look beautiful though. I love those shades to wear as clothing, but on the eye, I'm a little more timid. The other palette has a lavender and kind of a pink shade. There's a soft, light minky brown and what looks like a white shade. Now that white shade could be a matte white. It could be a sparkle white. It could be a duochrome. Like who knows? But it looks really, really interesting. Again, this kind of reminds me of the Suqqu palette that had kind of like the lavendery pinks in there. Don't think that either of these are for me, but every time I see a new release from the YSL Mini Clutch Couture, I'm just like, maybe I need to pick up another one. They're just so, so good. Here is something that I saw and I was like, but did we need it? So this is new from NYX. It's their Jelly Job lip gloss. Now there's a ton of lip products that come in squeezy tubes and I just feel like this is continuing that trend. I don't need another, goo in a tube, and that's basically what this is. It's supposed to offer volume in a tube with super jelly shine and jelly volume, whatever that is. It's supposed to be a lightweight formula with super high shine, and a ultra precise silicone applicator. I'm curious what that silicone applicator looks like. Oh, so it's not like a squeezy tube with a tip on it. It's actually like a silicone applicator that comes out like a doe foot. That's interesting. Still don't know that I need it. This is one of those that I'm like, they're $12 each. There's 16 shades. They have subtle nudes, pinks, reds, and they have a sweet cherry scent to them. So if you're interested, looks like these are probably already available wherever you can find NYX products. Now here's something when I saw it, I was like, okay, this has my attention. This is interesting. This is new from Estee Lauder. It's their new Futurist Blush Maker Dewy Cheek Tint Liquid Blush. Now, the reason this is interesting to me is I haven't seen anything like this from Estee Lauder before. At all. And it looks like a serum-y blush. I like that it's a liquid blush. I like that it comes in that needle nose tip. So you have like ultra precision in how much you squeeze out. You don't have to get like a giant gob and only use a little bit of it. It's $32. I think the price is pretty fair. And they have 6 shades. The shades also look pretty well informed. I think we've got something for maybe everybody. But I think for me, what's interesting about this is that I can't remember the last time I saw a makeup release from Estee Lauder that caught my attention. I get their holiday blockbuster every year. I reviewed it this year. If you want to see it, I'll link it for you here. But I really do want to root for the brand. I've tried so many Estee Lauder products over the years. I've been kind of like an Estee Lauder devotee. Before I started my YouTube page, I used to use almost nothing but Estee Lauder products. And it's been a while since it's really turned my head. And so over the last 10 to 12 years that I've been doing YouTube, I just haven't been interested. But this is the first time I'm like, hello, Estee Lauder. They recently released some lip oils and lip glosses, and I'm like, well, that's new. And I kind of like that they're doing things that are catching my attention again. Maybe I'm finally moving into their focused demographic, now that I'm in my 50s, or maybe they're just changing their approach overall. I'd like to know what your thoughts are. If you're an Estee Lauder fan, or if you've been rooting for them and they've kind of been boring you, because that's what I've been getting for years, just couldn't be bothered. And now this, and I'm like, that looks interesting. All right, here's something else that is beautiful. It's kind of calling my name. Do I need another cool tone palette? No. But I might pick it up. This is new from ABH. This one is called Haze. It's one of their 9-pan mini eyeshadow palettes. And they have beautiful, beautiful cool tone shades in here. Taupes and grays and a really dark inky blue. And some really beautiful mid-tone browns. It looks really nice, but all with a very decidedly cool lean to it. It looks really pretty. I feel like the price is pretty good at $32. I think that's fantastic. This would be interesting. I was looking earlier, what was the one that they recently put out? Was it the Ember palette? And that was just too warm for me. And I'm looking at this, and this one almost feels a little too cool. But then the other part of me is like, you love cool eyeshadows. Maybe it's time to pick it up. I haven't tried anything from ABH in a long time. I think the last thing that I got was like the Nouveau palette. And that was a couple of years ago. So another brand that's kind of catching my attention again for the first time in a long time. More new from the drugstore. L'Oreal has a new Lumi Bronze Lipstick Soleil bronzer. So this is a bronzing stick that's supposed to melt into the skin, that gives a buildable cream to powder formula and makes you look like you've been sun-kissed by the French Riviera. Okay. So this is an interesting addition to the Lumi line. I know they have the Lumi, like the skin enhancer. They've got the Lumi Le Glow highlighters. I think there's even a Lumi blush. So it's interesting to see that they finally come out with a cream highlight. This is actually really interesting. I always feel like my local Ulta is so behind. Like something new will come out and I'll be like, oh, I want to go and get it. And I'll go and they're like, we haven't even heard of that. Now I know that I am checking for stuff that the average Ulta shopper is not going to be asking for or know about because of what I do here on YouTube. But I do sometimes just wish that when things say that they're available, that they're not just available on the website, because I don't always want to place a web order. I want to go in store. I want to see it. I want to hold it. I want to look at it. And I want to decide if it's for me or not. But by the time stuff finally comes to my Ulta, it's kind of like old news. So I don't know. Some of these newer drugstore releases would be ones I would have to order online, and I'm not sure that I'm ready to do that. But these are $13 a piece. I keep thinking I need to get a Byredo palette, and there's a new one. This is the Vesuvio eyeshadow palette. I don't think it's available yet, but it will be coming soon to websites and to retailers, and it's $115. Now I'm looking at this, and I'm not sure that these are my shades, but there's something about these crystal type finishes that they have that look so beautiful. There's something about it. It looks very ethereal. It looks very like scattered light, and in a variety of shades. I just think they'd make beautiful toppers, and you have a wide range of shades of that. And I've never tried anything from Byredo, and I've heard that if you're going to get Byredo eyeshadows, the big palettes are the way to go. And maybe I'm would be shooting myself in the foot for getting nothing but shimmery shades, but they look really pretty. They really, really do. Don't know that that's a definite yes yet, but definitely something to keep an eye out for. I didn't know this, but recently Laura Geller has launched at Sephora. I remember years ago when I think Laura Geller used to be at Sephora and then it dropped off, and you could used to get Laura Geller at Ulta. Can you still? Maybe? I don't remember. But I remember there were times when you can get it both at Sephora and at Ulta, and now it's back at Sephora. I think it's really interesting how brands kind of come around again, come around the corner, and I thought it was interesting to see that. I think of Laura Geller, since most of the products are baked, I think of them as more mature skin friendly. And I wonder if Sephora is trying to lean into more brands that cater towards mature skin, because I think that is definitely something. I think about Sarah Creal, I think about Danessa Myricks, brands that are run by older artists that really have some of those things in mind. And I would be really interested. It's been a long time since I've tried anything from Laura Geller, and it would be nice to be able to walk into my Sephora and to swatch and to touch and to play and to see what there is and to discover whether the brand is for me again. I think I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching today. Here's where I want to know if any of these products catch your attention, if they perk your interest, if they make you want to go to the store and swatch and play and see for yourself, or whether they're the sort of things that you'd be willing to just add to cart online and like click ship. I would be very, very curious to know. Also feel like it's interesting that there are more drugstore options that kind of pique my interest, but I'm still not sure. I'm divided whether I should do a YouTube video with new drugstore stuff. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comment section down below. Or if you're only interested in seeing kind of prestige and luxury stuff, let me know that as well. Because I feel like I've been leaning more into prestige and luxury recently with my purchases. It's certainly not something that I know like the back of my hand. I'm still kind of learning as I go at the drugstore. But let me know what your preferences are when it comes to what sorts of things you want to see me review. Thank you so, so much for making the time to watch today. Everything that I have on my face, I will link in the description box down below. Inevitably, somebody always asks, oh, what lipstick are you wearing? Or what eyeshadow are you wearing? And so I'll put all of that for you down there. Those will be affiliate links. Feel free to use them or not. That's completely up to you. But thank you for making the time to watch today. I always like going through and seeing what's being released, what's new, but I feel like things are kind of hitting a pause because we're coming up on the holidays. We might start seeing stuff in the new year again. There may not be that much released between now and the end of the year, but I'll keep an eye on it for you. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again soon.